Here we go, everybody, our last assignment before the big holiday break. Well, what you're looking at is actually review when we were finding slope from a graph, and I'm going to review that quickly because the front of the assignment is reviewing this skill. And if you recall, we just had to trace the graph paper, form a step, and I remember telling you could go above the line, below the line, it wouldn't matter. And I count over here, and it's 1, 2, 3, 4 high, and it's 1, 2, 3 across, and it looks like our slope is rise 4, run 3. And same over here. Again, you can go above the line or below the line to do that. You get the same answer. And we count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Don't write them upside down. Rise over run is 6 over 3. The line is falling down. Don't forget that negative. And if it divides evenly, you can. And in fact, for standardized testing, you would have to because the answers are almost always simplified. Okay, this is also review. Now, this will not be on the assignment. This was the last assignment, but I'm going to go over it because some people had some questions. So, the slope is always this coefficient of x, in our case, 2/5. The y-intercept is this number out here. If you don't see it, it's a 0. So to graph this, it's 2 steps. You go to the y-intercept on the y-axis, and 0 is the origin. And then this slope number tells you where to go from here. Our slope says rise 2, run 5. Rise 2, run 5. And you draw your line with arrows. And actually, I could have went the other direction if I wanted to and just continued the graph. You don't have to. And same over here. Slope is the coefficient of x. The y-intercept is the number on the end. Now, if that said -1, I'd have a -1 there, but it doesn't. Now, go to the y-intercept. +1 is right there on the y-axis. Now, slope has to be a fraction. We need a rise and a run. If it's a whole number, just put it over 1. Now, since this is negative, it will actually fall 3, run 1. So it'll go down 3 over 1. And again, you can continue on if you like to. You can even go up the other way. But really, 2 points is all you need to do that. So that was the last assignment. If you're having trouble with that, let me know. This is what we're really going to do. We're going to use a formula today to find the slope. This is the slope formula right here. It is on the formula sheet for the PSSA and the Algebra 1 Keystone. So you're wondering, well, why is this over here? Don't you just count the blocks, right? Up 3 over 2. Well, yeah, but we're not always given this graph. I just want to show you what this formula does. So first thing you have to do is, well, let's just look. The formula involves subtraction in the numerator and denominator, and it looks like there's 4 numbers that replace these. Well, look, 4 numbers. Our decision is, yeah, but what goes where? So we have to label them. So I'm going to label them XY and XY. Now the first point, I'm going to put little 1s on there. They're called subscripts. The second point, I'll put the 2s. So look at the formula. In the upper left-hand corner goes Y2. Which number did I label Y2? Yes, the 3. So the 3 goes here. These subtraction signs I put in, I always put them in first. They're just from the formula. So I just fill them in and I fill in the numbers. Next to it goes Y1. So I'm going to fill this one in. Y1 is labeled right here, the 0. You see I'm subtracting the Y numbers in the numerator. Here goes X2. Can you see which number I labeled X2? It's the 4. And what number did I label X1? The 2. So you subtract in the numerator, you subtract in the denominator, 4 minus 2 is 2, and there it is. Rise 2, I said that wrong. Rise 3, run 2. And there it is right there. So this formula, those subtractions, just really count these blocks for you when you don't even have the graph. Okay, a couple more. This is the same thing. You're going to first label x1, y1, x2, y2. Fill in around the subtraction signs. y2 goes here, y1 goes there. x2 goes here. x1 is -2. So be careful. That's why I put those subtraction signs in first. That's minus and negative. And now you subtract. 0 minus 1 is -1. 2 minus -2 is 4. And let's just check it over here. Here's our slope over here. It looks like it's 1 rise over 4, and it's negative. There it is. So these down here, this little practice, see there's no graph. You have to use the formula. So I wrote the directions over here. Label the 4 coordinates, x's and y's, 1's and 2's. Then substitute into the formula. So I have you all set up. And subtract twice. So pause the video. As always, I encourage you to try them on your own. But here we go. Now I'll show you the assignment and we'll be done. So again, xy, xy. I put 1's on the first point, 2's on the second point. y2 always goes right there. y1 always goes right here. So if you label them right, you should be able to substitute correctly. x2 goes here, x1 goes there, and subtract. 2 minus 4, -2. 4 minus 1 is 3. If I graphed them and counted the blocks, that's what I would see. It would go down 2 and over 3. Okay, so on the graph, it would look something like this. That would be, the line would be falling down like that. Oh, I missed, but you get the idea. Okay, last one. xy, xy, 1, 1, 2, 2. -2 goes there. y2 minus y1, -3 goes there. Down here it's 5 minus 1. x2, I'm just putting them in place like the formula shows me. Subtract, lots of negatives here. Look at this. -2 minus -3. Well, believe it or not, it's 1. And 5 minus 1, well, that hasn't changed. It's just 4. So I found my slope given 2 points in the formula, which you do not have to memorize. So this is what the assignment looks like. The front is just this review, as I said. That line is a random line from the copier. Just give me the slope. You can trace it if you like. Now on the back is what I just showed you. I did number 1 for you. You're all set up. You have to label the points like I did right here. See, x1, y1, x2, y2. So show the work. Show that you labeled them, put them in place, and subtracted. So my example, I got 2 negatives. I can write it as 2 positives, either or, but there are how many? 14. Take your time, do your best, and you know what I always say. If you need help, let me know. See ya.